Back to the third presentation on good laboratory practice. In this presentation, I am going to explain the last 5 points to implement good laboratory practice. So these 5 points are test and reference items, standard operating procedures, performance of the study, reporting of the study results, storage and retention of records and materials. Coming to the test and reference items. So recipient handling, sampling and storage, records for the received expiry date, quantities received and used in the study, etc. Handling, sampling and storage procedures to ensure homogeneity and stability and avoid contamination or mix-up. Identification information on storage containers. So coming to the characterization of test and reference items. So identification of each test and reference items, so like code numbers, then CAS, chemical abstract, service number, name, etc. Then identification of each batch of the test or reference items, so like batch number, purity, composition, concentration, etc. Then cooperation between the sponsor and test facility, verification of identity of the test items. So coming to stability of test items and reference item includes the stability of a test item in its vehicle or container. Then to check the experiments to determine stability in tank mixers used in the field studies. So samples for analytical purpose for each batch. So coming to these standard operating procedures. So approved SOPs to ensure the quality and integrity of the laboratory data, immediately available current SOPs relevant to the activities being performed. So deviation from SOPs to be acknowledged by the study directors. So SOPs are for different aspects. For example, test and reference items related SOPs. So receipt, identification, labeling, handling, sampling and storage related to the test and reference items. Whenever a test and reference items received, they received then date of receipt, then identification, then there should be proper labeling, handling, sampling and storage should be there. Related to apparatus related SOPs, which includes use, maintenance, cleaning and calibration. So calibration of apparatus should be as per the SOP, standard operating procedure. So cleaning of these instruments should be based on the SOPs, and maintenance also based on these SOPs. So computerized systems, its validation, operation, maintenance, security, change control, backup, etc. should be based on the standard operating procedures. So materials, reagents and solutions of laboratory reagents and solutions and its preparation and labeling all based on the SOP. So SOPs for record keeping, reporting, storage and retrieval. So coding system, like a coding system, data collection, preparation for reports, indexing system, handling of data. So then test system, for maintaining test system there should be a standard operating procedure, like room preparation, environmental conditions of the room, then receipt, then transfer, identification, then test system preparation, observation, etc. Quality assurance procedures. So operation of QA personnel in planning, scheduling, performing, documenting and reporting inspections. So coming to this performance of the study. So it includes study plan, content of the study plan, then conduct of the study. So coming to the study plan, so there should be a written plan verified for GLP compliance, approved by the study director and by the management, approval of amendments by dated signatures. If any changes are there, that should be amended and with a signature and date. So deviations should be explained and acknowledged. So content of study plan includes identification of study, then title, nature and purpose of the study, test item identity, reference items used, etc. has to be mentioned. Information concerning the sponsor and the facility, name and address of the sponsor, test facility, study director, etc. So dates are also very important. That is approval date of the study plan, estimated starting and completion dates, then reference to test methods, that is as per the OECD test guideline. So issues like justification for selection of the test items system, then characterization, method of administration, then records. So everything as per the SOP. Then conduct of the study. So the study to be conducted in accordance with the study plan. So there should not be any deviation from the study plan. So data generated to be recorded directly and accurately, and change in raw data not to obscure the previous data. Then identification of electronic data. Reporting of study results. So coming to the reporting of study results, important general aspects like final report for each study, scientists to sign and date their reports, approval by the study director, corrections, additions, amendments to be signed and dated by the study director. So what are the contents of the final report? First one is identification of the study. So descriptive title, identification of the test and reference items, purity, stability, then information on sponsor and test facility, name and address of the sponsor, test facility, study director, the scientist involved to the study, then experimental starting and completion dates that are very important. A quality assurance program statement that also should be a part of this report. So description of materials and test methods, results including uncertainties, level of significance, evaluation, discussion and conclusions. So storage of items like storage of samples, reference items, raw data, final reports, etc. has to be mentioned. Then coming to this storage and retention of records and materials. What to retain in archives? The study plan, raw data, samples. Then inspection and master schedules, qualification, training, experience, job description of the study personnels, maintenance and calibration data of instruments, validation data, then standard operating procedures. All the standard operating procedures has to be kept in the, should be a part of the report. Then environmental health and safety monitoring records has to be incorporated. Retention period to be defined. If any study material is disposed of before the expiry, there is reason to be justified and documented. Index of materials retained in these archives, then controlled access to the archives. In case the laboratory goes out of business, the archives are transferred to the relevant sponsors. Thank you. With this, I conclude a good laboratory practice. So the coming presentation will be focused on clean room technology. Thank you.